structure, you can have the CEO and then you have departments. So you have line and sub-functions as well. So you have line functions and sub-functions. But when you have a project, you get people from different departments and then they create a team for a project. Those they sit down and work on a certain project. After they are done, they go back to their department. Okay? So after they are done, they go back to their department. So you have the project, you get people from finance, you get people from marketing, you get people from human resource department and production department. So those people are going to work on the project. After they are done, they go back to their department. So that is the matrix structure. So it allows employees from different departments to come together in Planley to work on a special project team. And the purpose of this kind of structure is to allow companies flexibility to respond quickly to their customer needs by creating a team of people who devote all their time to a project. Once the team completes the project, the team members return to their department or join a new project team. And then we have team structure. So team structure, many organizations are now using the team structure. So team structure brings together people with different skills in order to meet a particular objective. So team structure is different from the matrix structure because the matrix structure, the teams that are developed temporarily. They are just special for a certain project. But for team structure, people are employed to work in teams. That is now the difference between the team structure and the matrix structure. yeah, so the organogram for a team structure can look like this. So you have the CEO at the top, and then you have a number of teams. So in team A, you can have marketing team, production, research, and finance. The same thing with team B, team C, and team D. So these people, after you're done with projects, you do not go anywhere. So you work in your team, like all the time. So the difference between the team structure and the matrix structure is that for the matrix structure, you have your own department. So you come together because there is a special project. After you're done with the special project, you go back to the department. But for this, you work in teams. So you work in teams, and then you have like the CEO and then the team, the team. So in this kind of organization, senior managers need not approve decisions by lower level managers. Instead, teams have the authority to make their own decisions. So teams, they have their own authority to make their own decisions. And employees often prefer the team structure because of its focus on completing the project rather than performing a particular task. Case analysis. You are a manager of a manufacturing company that employs 500 people. The owner of the company gives you the free range to reorganize the company however you want. So write a one-page paper that describes whether you recommend adopting a line or a line and staff or a matrix or the team structure. So for the next class, I will expect you to present on this. It's not assignment, to present classwork. Individual assignment, classwork. I'll wait for you for the good day, the next class. The whole thing. Okay, so what is the line function? Let's look at this question. What is the line function? Okay, line function. Yes.
Line function, whatever you are reaching from the top, you will move downward.
What else?
These are the functions that contribute to the company's profit directly.
What about the staff function? What are the staff functions? Staff function, line and staff function. Really? You need to respond to things because they are still in the right. Okay, what is the staff function? What are staff functions? Yeah, that's staff function. Stop using the phone. Staff function, yeah, you're fine. But there was a name. Destiny, yes. It's funny, I cannot hear you. Or you can tell your friend and then your friend is going to say,
Ishmael.
yeah, Ishmael, what does that staff function?
Okay. Staff function, these are functions that provide possibility to the organization in them.
That contributes to the no provide.
Okay, that contributes to
The company is
my friend
okay, what about the metric structure? But it's not just this. Show. What is the metric structure?
All employees communicated together
To work on a special project, and then after that they go back to their how does the team structure differ from the line and staff structure? How does the team structure differ from the line and staff structure? No, but then we are asking line and staff structure again. Yes.
In this structure, you only have the CEO and the team members.
Sorry?
In this structure, you only have the CEOs and the team members.
Well,
Alright, while in the line
and staff.
and staff structure, you have got other managers like the HR.
Then there is one difference. So in the traditional structure, like the line and staff structure, each level of management reports to higher management level, right? So, but in this kind of organization, senior managers need not approve decisions by lower level managers. Instead, teams have authority to make their own decisions. So teams, they have authority to make their own decisions. They do not wait for their managers for the CEO to approve their decisions. They make their own decisions. Okay. Yeah, so we have factors that affect organizational structure. So whether a company decides to use staff line structure or line and staff structure or the native structure or the team structure depends on a number of factors. So organization structure, the organization structure a company chooses depends on the nature of its business. So a structure that is appropriate for high-scale company that employs 50,000 people in 8 countries will not be appropriate for small retail business. It's just a dozen employees. So there are many factors that affect the choice of organizational structure. The most important factors are the size of business and the kinds of products and services it produces. So the most important factors that affect organization, the type of organization and the company decides to choose will depend on the size of the business and the kinds of products and services it produces. So we'll look at the size. So the size of the business has a very important effect on the organizational structure that the management adopts. So as we were looking at the types of structures, we say the small businesses, they usually go for the line structure. But as the organization grows, that's when it starts employing staff it starts developing staff departments. So very small single-person businesses need no organization structure at all. So the organizations that have very few people working in that organization do not need organization structure at all. But companies with a few employees can also function well without a formal structure. But once a business employs more than just a few employees, however, a formal structure is necessary. So as the company grows, you need to have a formal structure. Yeah, so the question that I give you, pathway, these are the questions that come during the exam. So if you do not participate in your group, so if you do not do research on them, these exams during the exam, I expect you to do the classwork. Yeah, so as the business grows, the structure of the organization also grows. So typically businesses go through 3 organization life cycle stages. So this is the organization life cycle stage. So different skills are important at each stage of the life cycle. So we have size of the business and this time. So as the size of business grows, this is what the stages that an organization goes through. So an organization growth through creativity, which is step 1, and then it goes through growth through direction, and lastly step 3, which is growth through delegation, coordination, and collaboration. Yeah, so we'll look at stage 1, which is growth through creativity. so growth through creativity. Entrepreneurs with new ideas create products and services for which there is a market already. So you are creating a product for which there is a market. So you are creating a product for which you are creating a product that already has a market. So the businesses tend to be small. They usually like common structures, so they lack common structures, policies and objectives. So they lack common structures, policies and objectives. So the company founder is involved in every aspect of the business and makes all the decisions. So the company founder is involved in every aspect of the decision of the business and makes all the decisions. So during this stage, management skills are much less important than they are later on, because there are very few employees to manage. Having an idea that appeals to consumers is very important. So this is stage one. Yeah, so stage one, which is growth through creativity, we are saying you are coming up with new ideas to create a product or service for which there is a market already. The business tends to be very small. It lacks common structures, policies, and objectives. The company founder is involved in almost all the decisions, all the aspects of the business, and makes all the decisions. And management skills are not very important because you have very few employees to manage. So we have now stage two, which is growth through direction. Growth through direction. Yeah, so growth through direction now, the company now is growing. So the company grows and it grows in size, and now the company founder is no longer responsible for all the decisions that are happening in the organization. So instead, the company hires managers. So the managers are now responsible for various functions, including planning, organizing, and staffing. So we saw that in the first stage, there was no common structure, but during the second stage now, because the company is growing, the company needs now to sit down and come up with a common structure. So you also have to come up with the policies and procedures as well. Yeah, so the manager, the company founder is no longer responsible for all the decisions. He now relies on the managers that are responsible for various functions, so including the planning, organizing, and staffing. Yeah, so the third stage is growth through delegation. So as the company grows, sometimes the structure becomes too rigid and decision-making becomes too centralized. So the lower-level employees feel left out of the decision-making process. Top executives find themselves too far removed from the customer to make good decisions. So to deal with these problems, companies often move to the next stage of organization, like say, which is stage number 3. So in stage number 3, businesses delegate more responsibility to lower level managers. So as we say that the company grows, it becomes too rigid. So growth through delegation now, we see businesses delegate more responsibility to lower level employees in an attempt to decentralize decision making. So delegating authority helps businesses in 2 ways. First, it motivates people at lower level whose jobs become more interesting. Secondly, it allows senior executives to devote more of their time to longer-term management issues. Go through direction. This one? Yeah, so go through direction. What you're saying is that in the first stage, we say the company mostly does not have a structure. the owner of the company is mostly responsible for every decision in the organization. But in the second stage now, the organization is growing. So because the organization is growing, the company hires other people, managers. They hire managers to help the owner make decisions. So instead of the manager being responsible for every part of the organization, instead of the owner being responsible for every decision or every aspect of the organization, it leaves the 5 functions of management to these managers. So now you have managers, you have procedures, you have policies. So this is different from the first stage where you do not have policies, you do not have this is the right way of doing this in this organization. But for the second stage, you have that. You have the policies, you have the procedures, right? And what else? Yeah, there are systems of communicating information is also there. Financial controls are there. Because in the first stage, basically the owner of the company is the one who is responsible for everything. So even when it comes to my finances, is the one who makes decisions on that. But as the company goes into stage 2, the owner of the organization cannot be responsible for everything because the company is growing. So he has to leave some of the decision making to the manager. Yeah, I think this is the key. Who is Edward's friend? Who is Edward's friend? You only attended one class. Nkanda. We have 2 Edwards. The other one is Edward in Bible. So this one is Edward in Bible. He doesn't have a friend. And where is that? Is he attending the other classes? size of the company. And then the second factor that affects the type of structure the organization adopts is the type of product or service. Type of product or service. Yeah, so the number of levels within the organization increases as the level of the technical complexity increases. So the number of levels within an organization increases as the level of technical complexity increases. So this means that company that produces sophisticated electronic equipment is likely to have more level of management than a company that produces garden tools. So companies that produce technically complicated products are also likely to have a larger percentage of managers and supervisors than companies that produce simpler products. Yeah, now we look at organizing a company into departments. So as we saw that many companies are organized into departments, especially big companies. We still have 8 years. No, not tomorrow. It was supposed to be because of business today, which is 5 days, from our budget is 3 hours. 5 to 7 years. Waiting hours. Up to 8. We're supposed to wait 9 days. Yeah. Excuse me, don't come to my game, please, about their technique. Yeah.